Okay, so new project today. First, let me start by saying this is for entertainment purposes only. This is by no means an instructional video. If you do this and you get hurt, it's on you. So what you're going to need for this project, a couple of glass bottles, a Pyrex bowl with a rubber grommet, sanding pads, an orbital sander, a Dremel with the grinding stone already attached, an apron, a little mask to keep the dust out of your face because you're going to be creating silica, which is glass dust, and safety glasses. And something that I don't have here is gloves. The most important part you're going to need though is a tile saw with a brand new blade. I highly recommend the rigid blades because they have a lot higher concentration of the diamond dust adhered to the blade, so you get a much smoother, less chip cut. And you'll know when they go dull because it'll start chipping, or sometimes the bottle will just explode. So without further ado, I'm going to start chopping these bottles and show you how it goes together. Here it comes. I've already cut the bottom of this thing off. I'm just actually going back over it to smooth out the edges a little bit. And that is the difference between a brand new blade and a dull blade. This is really smooth. It's not going to take me long at all to sand this thing down. Alright, next part is going to be the wine bottle. We're going to cut the top of this part off because that vodka bottle is going to go inside of this bottle here. Alright, we got to readjust the fence. And we want to cut it right about where this slope starts. So we just put that up against the saw blade. Match up the fence. Alright. Now there's numbers on these things, one at each end. Make sure they're on the exact same number, because if you don't, and the bottle is even just off by a millimeter or two, once it gets halfway through the blade, or halfway through the cut, it's going to hit that angle and it's going to explode in your face. And that sucks. Alright. Alright, so all the bottles are cut, but they still have some pretty sharp edges, and you don't want that. So I have found it best to use an orbital sander. I don't know what, I think these are either 80 or 100 grit. Make sure you're using one of these. Okay, I've got both of these sanded, and these are so smooth you could drink out of them. Next is going to be drilling the holes. There's one other tool I didn't show you earlier. You're going to need a drill. Or you can use the Dremel. You're just going to have a problem getting a bit big enough for the hole that will be, the same millimeters as the stem that you're using. So I'm going to drill this hole real quick. Alright, next we're going to use the Dremel to get this at exactly the right width that What I'm doing right now is taking the rubber grommet off of the stem, because if you try and force this while this is in place through the cap, it's going to break it. I don't know if you noticed, I made mention use Pyrex, because these are a lot more sturdier than just regular glass. And when you're done with this thing and you need to you know, empty it out, you can bang them out. I said bang them out, sorry. You can tap them out a little harder than glass ones. If you need these, I'll put a link to the bottom to my Facebook page. You can order them through me. These things are 20 bucks. You're gonna spend probably 18 to 20 in a regular glass, you know, shop that sells stuff like this around here, but most of them, they don't sell just Pyrex, they sell just regular glass. And that's because they're fragile and you're gonna have to buy more from them. So that's pretty much the end part of this. I'm gonna put it together real quick. And there you have it, one glass and glass GB.